take a look at this before and after. Is your brow a little bit more on the before and you want it to look like the after where it's nice and filled in, but you don't want it to look overly filled in? You need to stick with me in this video because I'm going to show you some tips that you might not have thought about. Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. I call myself a brow expert because I've been shaping eyebrows for over 25 years at the Anastasia salon in Beverly Hills. Some of you might be new to this channel. You may not be aware that I'm still there shaping eyebrows. And thank you for some of you that have come by and trusted me with your eyebrows. So this video is going to be really helpful, I think. She came in with her brows already filled in. Obviously, I was going to take it all off, but I did actually want to show her something that she could have done a little extra on her eyebrows. So this might be you. You might like maybe the way you fill in your eyebrows, but you're not quite sure if you did it right, or you're comfortable with it, but you want to just elevate it a tiny bit. This video is going to be definitely for you. So please stick around and let's get to the eyebrows. So like I said, she came in with her brows already filled in. She has thin eyebrows. It's actually much thinner than this. And she has an old brow tattoo that she had done a long time ago. Right up here, as you can see, she went a little too high, but she wasn't sure if that was okay. She knew that it was a little uneven. I told her if she put a little bit of highlighter or a concealer stick right over that area and just use the brush 18 and just smoothed it out at the top because she's Asian, so she's better served with it being a little bit straighter, not too flat, just a little straighter. She liked this. And keep in mind, everything else she did herself. So she was definitely empowered and thought, I can do this. So anyway, I want to show you something that I think what she did and I think what most of us tend to do. And she used a powder. Pencil could sometimes be a little messy as well, but she used a powder and she just kind of went for it because she naturally has a little bit of tattoo underneath and just sparse hair here and there. She just grabbed the powder and just started going for it. You know, just put it on. Wasn't quite sure where, but just put on the color. She might have also did this with her brush. And you notice on the model, on her, I laid the brush down to apply the color. So that way, I have an old brow tattoo, so that's why you're probably thinking, she already did her eyebrows. This is an old brow tattoo that I do talk about on my previous videos, so you need to check that out. So just without a lot of strategy, just not being so intentional, she just kind of put the color in where she thought it should be. And I think sometimes you guys tend to do that, right? So I told her, go ahead and do that. Just apply it however you're more comfortable with. That's why the highlighter stick or concealer stick is so important, because if you just apply it over and under and over the eyebrows, just like you're seeing me do right here, you can see how much it makes a big difference. It just helps clean up. And I'm using a Pro Pencil base too. And you can see right here with the brush 18 just how much tighter and cleaner it looks, just simply using this stick. Now, like I said, you can mix with a concealer. The concealer is a little bit more, has more coverage, and it obviously matches with your skin up here. You can mix this with a little bit of foundation if you love your foundation color. But the concealer stick is great for above. Down below, obviously you don't want to put too much concealer underneath the eyebrows. That can be too emollient. So this concealer stick is much easier because it's a little bit on the drier side, and that's what you want. So once you do this, I actually like using a pencil. The pencil offers a little bit more coverage. If you add a little bit of pencil in between the gaps, just inside, you don't have to go crazy and just fill all the way in. Just go in between, because sometimes when there's more skin than hair and you're using powder, it can skip quite a bit, especially if you forgot to take off some skincare. That's important, right? So look at the difference. Look at the difference from one side to the other. And up in the front, I went this way. Lay the pencil down and just was generous with the amount of color, but not press too hard. Now let's do the other side. I want to show you guys both sides. Sometimes I show you one side, but you can really see, notice that I want you to look at me as well, because I'm holding the brush this way. I'm trying to do both sides. So you can see I'm right-handed doing this. You notice that the brush is just laying this way. So I'm hoping that I could show you how to try to hold the brush. So that way the brush stays sharp. And don't worry about trying to get it perfect. That's the whole idea of this video. I want you to see that it's not about getting it perfectly, just get it on there. And that way you can use a concealer stick above and below, or the concealer above the eyebrows, and really hone in on the shape. Just really perfectly get it in there right here. Now, I'm not blending my highlighters because I want you to see how much the brows actually stands out as well. But if your brow color is messy, that's why this is so important. Now, remember that upper area? That's the area that I want you to see to go. Well, she doesn't have as much hair at all, really. And that area, that's why the pencil is really important, because now notice again, I'm right-handed and I'm doing this side right here, the left side, my left side. That's the area that I want you to focus on and bring it up a little bit. And again, notice that I'm laying this way. Now, if you have hair going straight up, you don't need to worry about that, right? But I needed to do that on her. Excuse the neon turquoise nail polish, which I did really like. So look at this before and after, meaning like the middle part is what the client did. The top part obviously is what I did, but it's not terribly that far from what I did. And that's why I wanted really to do this video, because I think you really will get the best tip from this is just going around and underneath and not putting that much intention in applying the color. Just put the color on there. And that is what I want you to learn from this, is that it's about getting as much as you can. With powders, you can be generous with the application. It doesn't go on too much and too dark. The pencil can, which is why you want to just go in between the little gaps here and there and apply a little bit of extra pressure in those areas you don't have much hair. I left the highlighter on my eyebrows just because, you know, I get sometimes the comments like, can you use concealer above because it looks too bright? Absolutely. It's just that the concealer sticks are the best underneath. You don't want it to be too emollient, like I said earlier, because if you put something emollient underneath, it obviously will come off too easy. It's too, you don't want to disturb the eyeshadow if you end up putting eyeshadow on. But above the eyebrows, you can use the concealer and foundation. But the reason why I go a little lighter on the top is so that you can see. And that's why I left the highlighter, because you can really see my eyebrows. Even though it's tattooed, you'd be surprised. Pause this for a second. Apply something lighter above the brow line and notice how quickly your brows come to life without even putting any color in yet. So if you haven't tried that trick, try it out right now and see if I'm right. But the most important thing I just want you to remember is that when you use a powder, or if you just use a pencil, don't worry so much about trying to be really good at it or creative or intentional in how the brows should look. Just get your color on your eyebrows. And if you feel like you're not, you don't know where you should start or end or where your arch is, you'd be surprised if you just start putting color on, how much it comes to life. That's when you can tighten it up and hone it in there. Hone. I don't know why I've been using that word, but for some reason I like that word. But you can just be more intentional in a little bit of color here, a little bit of color there. So that is why I wanted to make this video. That is why I wanted to show the client how well you can do your eyebrows, even if you didn't think you did to begin with. So I hope this tip helped. Please let me know that it did. And thank you for your time. All the products will be written down in the descriptions, including my makeup. I try to be intentional with that as well. But I'll see you guys next week.